This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of June 29th, 2022, brought to you by That's Good HR. I'm Wes Mills. Indiana University is creating a new research center to address issues of gender inequity, sexual misconduct, and sexual harassment in the workplace. The university says the Kinsey Kelly Center intends to prepare current and future business leaders to create inclusive business operations and safer work environments. April Sellers, a clinical professor of business law and ethics at the Kelly School, says it's no longer optional for businesses to ignore these issues.
Businesses know that they have to be astute now, up to speed, sensitive to, thoughtful about gender issues at work. We are long past the time when it was optional to care about that or pay attention to those. And I think businesses are eager to have the best information about how to do it.
Sellers says business schools have an obligation to prepare future business leaders and managers in creating a culture where everyone is valued for their contributions and feels safe in their work environment. She says this formal partnership will lead to the creation of new courses for students, conferences for people already in the workplace, and other learning opportunities. Michigan-based Racer Trust says it will soon begin preparations for active soil remediation at the former General Motors Delco plant property in Kokomo. The work is part of an effort to prepare the 10-acre site for sale to a buyer looking to redevelop the property. GM closed the plant in 1991, and it was demolished in 1993. The remediation work is expected to begin in August, but some prep work will get underway in July. A Taiwan-based chip maker is partnering with Purdue University to establish a new microchip design center on the West Lafayette campus. MediaTek says the center represents its first partnership with an American university, as well as a new growth model for the company. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation says the partnership will focus on chip design and engineering education and joint research. About 30 new jobs are expected to be created. The center will be located at the Convergence Center for Innovation and Collaboration in Purdue's Discovery Park District. Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand is brought to you by That's Good HR.
With one call to That's Good HR, your hiring challenge is solved. It's that simple. That's Good HR is the secret ingredient to strategic staffing. Have an HR, accounting, administrative, or customer service position to fill? Trust That's Good HR to make a match that's good for everyone, whether temp to hire, or a direct hire placement. For 22 years, That's Good HR has been handpicking employees and employers through a highly personal and authentic approach that delivers long-term results. Visit that'sgoodhr.com. Remember, the match matters.
This is Gary Dick. Each week, Inside Indiana Business Television brings you the people, places, and policies that shape the Indiana economy. Exclusive content you won't find anywhere else. Be connected with the full hour of Inside Indiana Business Sunday mornings at 10 on the IIB YouTube channel, or check local listings for the show in your area.
The president and chief executive officer of One Zone Chamber of Commerce has been named the Indiana Chamber Executive of the Year. In 2020, Jack Russell took over as president of One Zone, which serves as the Chamber of Commerce for Carmel and Fishers. The Indiana Chamber Executives Association says the award recognizes Russell's creativity, eagerness to mentor peers, and the substantial growth he's achieved for One Zone. Fort Wayne-based nonprofit Rescue Mission is preparing to reopen Treasure House, its thrift store and vocational ministry. The nonprofit relocated the store earlier this year from Coldwater Crossing to the Pine Valley Shopping Center. The town of Clarksville is preparing to open its new $7 million public works facility. The town says the new building doubles the square footage of the previous facility. A ribbon cutting and open house will be held today to mark the completion of construction. A donut shop near Angola is the holder of a Guinness World Record for the most freshly baked donuts sold in one location in an 8-hour span. On Monday, Guinness verified that Tom's Donuts set the record over Memorial Day weekend with 8,558 donuts sold. They only needed to sell 1,700 donuts to set a new record, which they surpassed in just 2 hours. The owner says they had customers from Detroit, Chicago, and Kentucky. This report is brought to you by That's Good HR, the secret ingredient to strategic staffing. Visit that'sgoodhr.com for more information. I'm Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.